Okay, happy Sunday. It is November 23rd, 2025. And we're going to be talking about a couple of things here because we are, a month away from the last few weeks of 2025. Now, before we do get to talking about the markets, let's have an honest conversation here. Do you guys feel like there's been progress in your trading this year? Is as small as it might be, do you feel like there's been a lot of progress and understanding and growth this year with your trading? Just
Oh
as
yeah,
a,
100%.
Absolutely,
okay,
bro.
good.
I actually do feel I made a little progress now because I'm not gambling. I'm actually taking the time and doing my research before I get in.
That's good, bro. I'm really happy to hear that. Really happy to hear that. Anybody else?
Me, of
Uh-huh.
course. It's not a lot, and I didn't withdraw it, but $100, 177
That's amazing. Let's
for
go.
me, for me.
Right. You got to celebrate that.
And
Got
then
to
in my
celebrate that.
pocket options, because I'm doing both, because I feel like, okay, I could do a dollar at a time.
Yeah.
This weekend, I did $60. I
Wow.
did 30 in a row, 30, and then 27 in a row, not losing. Because you're
Dang.
telling me how to mark my zones, and so what you're teaching me over there, I can put it over here, right?
That's good to
So
know.
I feel
Wow.
motivated.
Let's go, Gloria. I'm actually very delighted to hear that. Very delighted to hear that. Anybody else have you guys felt like there's been some progress in your trading overall this year? Yes, no, in the chat, in the chat.
Yes, I would
Okay,
say
Yes, bro.
yes.
yes.
I
Yes, there have been a lot of changes, a lot of progress.
Yeah, for sure.
A couple of
Payouts.
months now.
Yeah, like, and let me ask y'all, when I say this, I'm saying in the category of maintain your greed, blowing less
Hmm.
accounts, getting a few
Yeah,
payouts, um, becoming more patient with your setups, just seeing
that's
in various areas, like you understand fundamentals a little bit more. Um,
Yes.
all of these things matter because sometimes I can feel individuals who probably, they experienced a setback this year and they fail at basically doing a rundown, a checklist on how far they've come and whether it's still worth it. Because you guys know towards the end of every year, I always ask you these type of reflective questions like, hey, do you feel like you had put your all into this year? Do you feel like you still got some things you're carrying into the new year? Because everybody wants to be a new version of them in what 40 days. And it just doesn't happen like that. It doesn't, right? So what habits are we carrying into the new year? Because y'all say I want this. Y'all say I want to continue trading. And so being mindful of what habits you're carrying into the new year and also being mindful of the micro progressions you've done over the year can accumulate into another breakout year or another repetitive year of the same crap. So the problem is too sometimes people fail to give themselves enough credit and then think about it in that aspect of, oh wow, I actually have not blown as many accounts this year. Or you know what? I caught amounts of pips or I stayed in certain moves a little longer than I used to give myself credit for. These things are very, very important in assessing self. Make sense, guys? Hey, let's go, Gloria. I see you. Mhm. All right. This is good. Moving forward, one of the things I've gotten good at over the years is maintaining my emotions and catching myself in certain things that I know I should do better or I could have seen better. For example, back in August, I took a loss. I told you guys this. And one of the things that used to play in my head was like, bro, why didn't you just walk away sooner? And it really ruminated in my head. I'm like, bro, why didn't do that? Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that? So I pretty much had made a deal with myself. If I'm ever in a situation like that in the future, I better walk away sooner. So that way I know that the previous lesson that I experienced was uh not for no good reason. You get me? And that has helped me so much. And sometimes people ask me questions everywhere, like Instagram, Telegram, whatever gram. And I find myself answering some good questions that makes me want to sit down and think about how far I've come. And for you guys, it's been like what, 5 years, 6 years, whatever, 4 years since COVID or whatever. You've come a long way. And looking at yourself today, I'm sure it's a couple of things that you still need to work on. But the fact that you are aware of what you can work on means that there's been work done and work to be done. Okay. And it's not about a new strategy to learn these days for you. It might just be, you know what? I need to learn how to be done for the day and be okay finding other things to do because there's nothing here for me. Or it might look like you realizing that, man, you know what? It's okay to just make 50 to $100. And then now that you've been able to do that consistently, you're transitioning into being comfortable just paying yourself. Now you know what to do with 50 because now, even as small as 50 sounds, you could just go and invest it in crypto, start like building your portfolio. You start to pay yourself in the future, which feels good. It feels really, really good. Me as a trader now, and it's been 10 years, I found myself just making micro adjustments, just fine tuning things, just make sure the car keeps running. Last week, I took a small loss, but overall for the month, I'm up. But when I came to trade on Thursday with y'all, we sat here patiently waiting for gold to actually buy. And after a while, it pushed back up, and we thought we would actually see our trades play out. And what ended up happening? Price sold. And but I enjoyed every bit of Thursday's session because when the market sold, I took a counter trade to the downside, recovered most of my losses, and I enjoyed seeing myself literally walking away. And I felt such a joy all day that day. I'm like, dog, that back I want it. I breezed past the challenge this time. And I felt so proud of myself. The second thing that I did was when I took that sell, I saw that there was potential that it could hit 40-30. But from the from the trials and tribulations I went through in July, every time price had these wicks like this to the left, and I had ignored it or I thought it would sell and continue, I had learned the hard way every time back in July. Every time a zone had rejections like it did to the left, I would see profit, and then profit would literally turn into losses. Every single time I would see long wicks like that. And so it taught me, hey, bro, you can't keep learning the same lesson. It needs to teach you. You can't just keep on learning the same lesson. It just has to teach you so you understand it's a lesson for the future. And so, soon as I seen price getting to 40, 42, I said, forget that anticipation that price might hit 40-30. It's at a zone where there's wicks. I'm exiting. And the moment that I did that, what happened next? I went to go run errands, and I watched this thing pushing back up exactly at the zones that I was in. And I'm like, dog, do you know how I just saved my own ass? Not only would have been a losing day, but it would have been an added series of losses for the day, which would have ruined the whole entire day. And so it's about these type of decisions you make on the charts that defines the growth that you're seeking. It ain't nothing sexy. It ain't nothing extravagant. It's just those small progressive changes that overall makes you a better person, a better trader, a better investor. And this and that is what you need to carry into the new year as somebody who's looking for growth. The growth is already there because you've already made mad mistakes. Soon as you own up to those mistakes and leave behind progressive thoughts that you can do better next time, I promise you'll be a better trader tomorrow. I promise you'll be a better trader next year. Okay. And I've done that so much. I've left behind so many notes for myself that it's like seeds and they sprout and they grow. I was not telling myself, oh, it better just grow by next week. I'm like, yo, next time, whenever that next time is, I will do better by doing this. And so I was going back into like August 20th, 2024 notes. Uh was talking about different levels of psychology, entry psychology, exit psychology, trade management psychology, breathing room psychology of how to move the stop loss a little bit further and decrease the risk, hold time psychology, loss recovery psychology, emotional management psychology, probability management psychology. If I go back to all of these layers, I can comfortably say, like, man, it took a minute, it took a while, but I've overall gotten better with all of these types of psychologies that requires you to be an overall sharp trader. Okay. So I wanted to cover that by letting you guys know it might make you feel anxious or impatient to see the level of trader you want to be. But if you're not leaving notes for the future version of yourself, how can you measure how far you've come? You won't. You won't. So, in short, leave behind constructive criticisms and notes for your future self. Okay. I remember I wrote this right here on in May of this year. When unsure, close your trade and let a 30-minute candle close just to see about the supply and demand zone being rejected or broken. Not with your trade still being open. That's a bar. Oh, okay. You was cooking, bro. Cut whatever losses and exposure. Re-enter and scale after more clarity. Rather
Yes,
you
I'm
even
coming.
miss the trade, mute yourself, please.
What's that?
Rather you even miss the trade than finding out painfully how wrong you were. The sooner I learn from my mistakes, the better I become. I'm already incredible. So going back into those type of notes, wow. 522.25. You blew the lead on one of your accounts. Should have had a plan of max loss once having reached the goal for the week. So to not lose major gains. Not moving stops into profit aggressively or swiftly enough. I was having this issue. I would literally be in great profit, but because I'm looking at something, for example, the potential of price continuing past this point, and I would give the whole profit away because, or the market would literally reject, and I didn't catch it soon enough of what it was going to do. Next thing you know, that profit is gone. A whole reversal, like somebody said. And it was annoying. These are some of the things that literally would dictate whether I had a great day, a recovery day, or I lost it, or I saw the profit and I lost it all again. How many of you guys are still dealing with that? How many of you guys are still dealing with those type of situations, which is keeping you from having more consistent days? Okay,
Uh,
somebody
I'm,
says still dealing with.
I'm here, bro. Still dealing with that shit all the time, bro.
Yeah, and
I
you're
still
new.
do it as well.
Yeah,
But for me, there's some days I've realized that some days is not for me. I just don't trade on those days. I just keep the fuck out, man. You know.
yeah, is important. Did anybody peep that I wrote this in 2025? Shouldn't Hans already like have figured out not to make this mistake in his 9, 10 years of trading? You notice that?
Hans, I traded for 8 years and I still make mistakes too, man.
Yeah. So imagine you who just started a year, 2 years ago. It's two sides of this conversation. The sooner you realize what you're doing and you realize how to go about fixing it, the better you'll be, the less pain you'll have down the line. Second thing is everybody make mistakes, even if they've been trading for like several years. Okay. So kind of settle down a little bit, take off the self-pity. It's not really doing you any good. It's not doing you any good. What you really need to do is be more accountable. Like make it even more of a fun challenge to see how far you've come later on. All right. Does that resonate with everybody here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
okay. Now we could talk about the charts. This week, I'm going to be very mindful of something that I noticed was the cause of the loss as well on Thursday when we went live. We wanted to see gold buy, and I even thought we'd touch above, I don't know, 41.14. That's really where we got messed up at. That candle was so strong and healthy and bullish that I couldn't believe that the next candle wouldn't push and keep going. But in hindsight, when I was looking at it, I'm like, damn, we couldn't even make it past the previous day's high. And if price can't even break past the previous day high when you're taking a trade, expecting it to keep going further, the best thing you need to do is move the stop loss in front of the trade. I'd rather we end up breaking even or getting closed out, stopped out, than having to make back some losses that was not necessary during the week. It be them situations, dog, that literally ruin your trading week. You was doing so well, and then it's a setup like that ends up looking very good, has the promising outlook that we want, and then next thing you know, it just doesn't. So even if we want to see price make it past a certain point, the first target that we need to keep our eye on is the previous day's high or the previous day low if it's going down. Okay. I want y'all to keep that in mind and keep me accountable too. In case I'm looking at the markets, I'm saying what I want to see. And then all of a sudden we're staying in trades and then it's just not working out. I should have said like, oh damn, you know what? Price ain't even hitting yesterday's high. Let me get out. And I would have probably like lost less, And then the next trade I took would have just made me even more profit for the day instead of breaking back even. So that's my moment of transparency. Okay, guys. What's something that you feel you could have done better that you experienced last week? I want everybody to share. I'm gonna call names just to keep things pretty steady. Jerome, can you talk, bro? In fact, if y'all want to write it out in the chat, that'd be even better. What's one thing you felt like you could have done better last week? Write it out. Write it out. Okay, where's the chat? Where's the chat? Where's the chat? Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah, I'll go. Bro. I'll go. I'll go.
Cool.
Yeah, since I started trading anyway, I started trading this year and stuff. I figure like Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty much my best day of trading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and from that, every time I try to push it, I always end up in a loss anyway. And like Monday and Tuesday, I made like some good profit. I'm not lie.
Yeah.
Then on Wednesday, you can ask Queen or something, but I pretty much end up with one of the baddest loss I've ever had. But like lost my profits and stuff. Diving like even to like a drawdown for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, well, like I was like, I'm done for the week. Let me just take a reset back and stuff. And that's why even on Friday, well, I was seeing some moves that I could have taken a trade and stuff. I'm like, you know what? Let me just leave it for next week. But I feel like sometimes we kind of push it because we don't make break even or maybe make a profit at the end of the week and stuff. But sometimes it doesn't work. Doesn't work your accounts anyway, even your mental shit. But so I
Correct.
was back. I was back up for a minute. I'm like, you know what? There's always gonna be like a week that's gonna come anyway. So
Correct.
that's pretty
Correct.
much I pretty much set it out.
Good. It's good to be conscious of what you can do better, bro. You got to congratulate that. So I'm proud of you for that. Anybody else? Anybody else? Somebody else said, Gloria said, my patience, stay in the trade longer. Okay. Taking more trades without hesitation. Okay. Okay. That's good. Sometimes I do hesitate too if I taken too many losses the weeks prior. But what helps me to kind of kick back into the swing of things is I'll just go with less risk and then I ease into it. I ease back into it. I ease back into it, especially the ones that I know well. Yeah. Staying more focused, watching the chart so I don't miss entries. Okay, nice. Nice. Okay. The rest of y'all don't know yet, huh? That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Let's start with the technicals, right? That's what you guys are here for. The way gold is looking as of right now, it doesn't quite look bullish. We're kind of stuck into this range. Wishni said patience and better entry. Nice, nice, nice. We're stuck into this range. And as you guys know, how I mark my charts is I'm trying to see where we coming from as of the previous week's price action. Like what are we doing with last week's price action that correlates with this week's price action? Where was price last at? As we can see for gold Friday. Why is this thing not working? Uh-oh. Hold on. Let me just clone this. Bruh. Here we go. Okay. Last week, Friday, price made it to this high. Didn't break past the few previous days highs. On a 4-hour time frame, this almost looked like the W we were looking for to break it even higher. And honestly, I still feel like this could happen. But for now, we have Friday's highs, we have Friday's lows. if we break past Friday's lows, or we can't break past Friday's highs, then we're probably still gonna keep going down, um, and retest certain areas of demand until we just find a sudden burst of bullishness. Now, here's what is enticing about this week. It's Turkey week. It's U.S. Thanksgiving. I had to think twice about that. It's the U.S. Thanksgiving week because some Canadians told me Happy Thanksgiving earlier this year, and I'm like, huh? It's October, son. What do you mean Happy Thanksgiving? I was so taken aback, and that's when I realized that not everybody experience not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving in November. But for those of us who are in the US, um, yeah, it might start out as a slow week. So don't be so eager just to like take aggressive setups or aggressive trades. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if price can't break past the highs of last week, I'm probably gonna take a counter trade sell for gold, right? Now, if price can't break past these highs, these 4100, then we ain't ready to buy like we think just yet. So sometimes when I just can't tell, I'm like, man, I give up. Give me a breaking structure so I can know like what you really on, like what type of time you really on. Show me your intentions. I don't have to play those games. Show me the direction you're trying to go because I don't have time to be sitting here guessing where you're trying to go. That's just me, you know? So that's how we're just gonna play it out, see what's going on. I don't even see no volume yet. It's only 7:40 p.m. I get it, but from the looks of things, if I'm gonna take a trade for gold, it'll be to the downside back to the areas of 4,000, 4,020. And if they really want it, they might they might go a little lower. But I'm not trying to make these type of I'm not trying to make these type of predictions just so that way if let's say price ends up buying, I could easily switch my bias like it's nothing. Okay? Because these structures do look strong, can't lie. 4,020, it looks dumb strong. So if at some point London, New York tomorrow, we still respect 4,000 and we bounce and we break and crush above the previous week highs, then we might even say this was a solid demand to buy above and beyond. Okay, so we can't tell just yet. I think the market is kind of looking for some sort of direction, and that's only going to come from some fundamental news or some random decision made that we didn't see coming. You know, on the fundamental side, we do have some core PPI. That's another thing too. Because of the government shutdown, a lot of news came in late. So, and gold is a safe haven. It needs some sort of chisme. It needs some zen, some drama, some sort of like something, some catalyst just to start to drive the force. If not, then it's ranging. There's a lot of uncertainty as well. We, based on what you guys see me post in the chat too, we noticed that there's been a lot of drama with the AI bubble stocks. With the AI stocks, we find out them boys playing susu, you know, they playing real live corporate susu, literally just passing the money on, funneling it, circling around with these companies, not really making real revenue, but they just make us think that everything is fine. And so that's a very concerning thing. But in the long run, all that will just be vanity. It'll just come and go. So let's not be distracted. Do I use trading view? Okay, you're asking Gloria on the chat. Charticus. Okay. Yeah, so like even with the stocks, Nvidia, we're still kind of looking like we're just gonna retest these zones from September's lows. If I'm a long-term investor, I wouldn't even care much about the drama going on. If you got money to invest, price is cheap. You know what I mean? That's it. They're not gonna stay like that for too long. So that just tells you as Thanksgiving and the first week of December starts to roll around, you just might see a different speed from the markets. We are still in Q4. I'm actually kind of glad we saw like a pullback here for real, because we was just having nonstop rallies. And now we see price right back into some September lows, some August lows. That kind of gives us time to invest for those of us who are long-term investors. And we're also breaking down companies that are part of the Dow Jones, that are part of NASDAQ, that are part of the S&P, So it's not just about you, man, NQ or Nas ain't doing what I want. But it's like you're focusing on the name NQ, but not realizing NQ got a whole list of the top 30 to 50 to 100 companies that are going through something right now. So it's not just you being a bad trader or you want to see the market do something. We're dealing with things that are bigger than us sometimes, and we have to step back and accept that. But it won't stay like that. Okay, so just take zoom out, take a step back, and preserve your capital. Preserve your capital. You can't join the Zoom. We don't have it. Oh man. Okay. All right. So this is what the stocks are looking at right now. Even United Healthcare is right back into the zones of September. It's a lot of opportunities for the future, for the next 3 months or so. As you guys can see, we're moving into crypto real quick. As you guys can see on my Telegram this weekend, I was really, really opening y'all eyes to certain conversations regarding crypto because I've been doing a lot of homework. Um, I've even been a lot more excited and motivated to dollar cost average into the cryptos because when I'm listening to certain people talk and they've already raised billions and millions of dollars into certain projects. And I'm like, damn, are they putting all this money at once or and then it hit me. Somebody said something. Tom Lee said something. I'm like, oh shoot. Just because they raised $100 million don't mean they just went and put the full hundo into Ethereum right away. Nah, they'll like strategize and put 10 million, put 15 million, oh, bad news. Ooh, let's hold back, guys. Let's put another 20 million at the bottom. Like they're really much so like scaling things. So when you looking at the price of certain crypto projects right now and you see that it's cheap, trust and believe these guys are investors, seasoned fund managers that have already done the part where they are going around having conferences, meetings, and summits. Trust and believe. You got ETFs that are emerging. You got Visa. You got Apple who will soon accept Ethereum as a form of payment. Imagine being on your Apple Pay and you walk into Publix or you go into brunch and now you get to have this as an option. I saw somebody on Threads come in and comment under my post and said Bitcoin is going to zero. I was driving today. I'm like, anybody who says Bitcoin is going to zero, 2 years from now, your girl is gonna come home from brunch and tell you how this nice gentleman paid for her matcha with crypto. And that's when it's gonna hit you. That's when it's gonna hit.
That shit sounds crazy, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God, babe. Guess what happened today? My God, like somebody actually offered to pay for my matcha and he paid in crypto. Didn't you say like Bitcoin was gonna hit zero?
Zero.
And nah, it ain't. You got folks really locked in, multi-millionaires who are now pitching to the world and certain systems and structures that 401ks will soon also have crypto strategies for retirement. You're hearing conversations where real estate houses will be paid via crypto. How the fuck is this shit gonna hit 100 zero? It don't matter if it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not the only crypto. There's Solana, there's XRP, there's Ethereum, and there's a lot of work and money and strategies, use cases, and real world utilities that are going to be part of our norm. So just because price is here where it's at right now, when that shit takes off, trust and believe what these securities and hedge funds have to do is dump millions of shares into these things at the right time, whereas they too have really strong technical bias, fundamental bias, insider information that we don't have. And the money is ready. It's like sitting there, ready. So that's why it's important when you see prices like once again back at April's lows, and you might not have too much money. Hey, none of us do, right? It's a tough economy for everybody. And don't just think you're doing bad. I saw on YouTube last week that the numbers of repossessions have skyrocketed the first time since like 2008. And if it makes you feel any better, they saying all them folks down in Miami, yo, it's like mad Rolls Royces and Corvettes and BMWs getting repossessed like hot pockets down there. So trust me, business is slowing down for a lot of other people too. There's a lot of evictions going on. Okay, you're not the only one going through a tough time, but tough times don't last, and opportunities are still at our forefront. Okay. Like we said last week, man, throw a $20, $50. Just keep making a habit of doing that. Think twice when you're up in profit for the week. And you're like, oh, I'm going to take another trade. How much did we make? 300? Hey, time out. Move some funds out of that damn account. Go put it in some crypto. Okay. If you feel like things are getting too easy for you, you making money too fast, or you got a goal to make, slow down and start thinking about the other decisions you can make with that money. Does that make sense, guys?
Solid.
Do you guys agree with me? How are we doing on time?
Yes, bro. Solid, man.
All right. Okay. So, not to say things might not get a lot cheaper, but even if it gets cheaper, buy a little bit more. And I'm not saying buy it with money you can't afford. $50, $100, $75. Just make a habit of it. My goal, honestly, y'all, is to have 500 Solanas at least. Because what they saying is Solana, Ethereum, like these things easily have the capacity to hit new highs and touch 400, 500. And at this point now, I just need more time for us to buy as much as we can at a cheaper price. You know what I'm saying? Slow down, baby, please. Cause we want that. We want that. And I'm not saying I can get 500 Solanas right now, but I think it's a fun thing too when you notice how cheap prices and how opportunity is right there. Like we know for sure now that institutions are in on this. It's not about some random people, and it's just nothing but bodies getting purchased in the black market in the dark web now. Like there's better utilities for crypto. It's becoming more um public and adopted. So please re-educate your minds on what's really happening here. And I'm doing the same thing. I used to be hella skeptical, like, bruh, what the heck? Nah, man. But when I'm seeing who's the face, at least behind what they really want to do with society, I'm like, oh, okay, let's dollar cost average. Let's be in on this. Let's build our portfolio and let's just be active on just creating those habits. Just throwing it to Coinbase, whatever platform you guys invest in. Sure, we could also put some money into a cold wallet, but when you have Coinbase and Robinhood going public as like a traded stock, oh, that's a whole game changer now. It's even if things do happen, but you're starting to see how even the company itself is thinking long term.
Yes, man.
Coinbase is now the Robin Hood of crypto. You feel me? So get educated. Like take your time when you're driving and you're going from point A to point B. Listen to a podcast. Stop fear mongering and being mad at Trump. Like that nigga is up. Somebody told me who knows him. Trump probably got like at least 2,000 Bitcoins in one wallet. I ain't tell you that. Allegedly. So what do we look like sitting here complaining so much and not taking action on things that we can control? Okay. Now, moving on. I really like the fact that a lot of these charts, when you're looking at them for crypto, we're looking at price coming back to retest like weekly lows. Even if we waiting on maybe a potential 75K, that don't mean we can't start buying a few things here and there around the 80s, the 85s. Okay. Don't be like me, where in 2022, I had a conversation with this guy and he was like, oh, my algo said this is the last drop for a long time. And I was like, man, my analysis says we could touch 10K and price should come back and retest 10,000. And he said, okay. Mind you, this guy's a multimillionaire. And next week he was skydiving with the Prince of Dubai. And I'm like, okay, buddy. I just felt like my analysis would have been right. And I sat there looking at this consolidation in the few last days of November, just like today, 3 years ago. And I'm like, yep, price is going to sweep liquidity and change character and, fair value gap. And then I'll enter with no drawdown. Don't you just love being a trader? You think you know it all? What I should have did is put some money and just create a habit of doing that. But every time I looked, I'm like, damn, I missed the entry. Every time I saw a retracement, I'm like, yes, it's going to pull back at 10K. And it just kept going. And I just became less and less interested. And I just never cared anymore. And then when it pulled back, I'm like, great, Bitcoin's at 50K, man. I needed to come back to 40. Never came back to 40. I'm like, God damn. Shit went to 70K. And then in November again of 2024, notice the recurring theme, November, December, right? Big rally. And so it just wouldn't make sense. I just keep wanting to catch the best entry. And I would watch the news, the Coinbases, every news outlet, everything Instagram talking about breaking news. Bitcoin touched $100,000 like the prophecy, and everybody who ain't cost averaged into anything is sick. Sick. Why? Because we were waiting on the perfect time and never thought about just putting in a little something, just be part of this ride. Now you fantasizing about a crazy flash crash just so they could finally come back to where you wanted it to come at. And let's be honest, even when it does retrace, a lot of us are scared. But when you see price coming back here again from multi-month lows, put in something, man. Put in something, because you just might see this thing touch 150 when the holiday spirits start to kick in. She, next thing you know, while you sitting here driving to the mall just to buy your little nephew something, and then you hear breaking news: Bitcoin touches 160K. Like, yo, you're gonna be sick again. So please, really take your time just to do a little due diligence and buy in a little something. Okay, guys, please. Is what I'm saying valid to you guys? Let me.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all know I love me some feedback, because I don't like to just speak and, oh, I love to hear myself talk. I'm really just looking forward to know that you with me on this. It's making some sense. It's helping you, because one thing I realize is we go from webinar to webinar, sermon to sermon, and many times action taking is slow. So with repetition, you become a lot more inclined to make a decision. And the other thing is, when you end up having conviction about something, the person that you're telling it to doesn't have the same conviction as you. They're not convinced like you're convinced. That's why I have a hard time trying to tell your friends and family, yo, get in crypto. It's like, nah, bro. I heard what be happening with crypto, or I've seen what you've been through with crypto. They're not convinced. But you sitting here doing your homework. You want to see the family rise. You want to break generational curses, but they
But
under a
people want
spell.
they want to see it first. They want to see something. They want to see, even though we know that it takes time. People want now, right?
Yeah, they want to see something, but what is it that they want to see, huh? So they could ask you to borrow some, or finally you made it and now you're feeling bothered that people didn't take action.
Well,
You
that
know?
it's not a scam. Because, like in my case, they know I've been scammed before. They say, "Oh, there you go again, falling for something else."
Yeah, I hear you. But everything is not everything, you know? Everything is not everything. So nice. Close the door, Mrs. Felix. You're enticing me. Get out of here. Anyways, um, this girl, bro, she do it. She stay doing. What was I saying, guys? God dang it. Okay. Yes. Make sure sometimes you keep your discretion tool. You can't take everybody to the well so they could drink water. Okay. You don't have to bring everybody. You're taking risks here too, but make calculated risks and just stack, like be in there. I want y'all to realize what could happen by January, by February, you know? And those who were not locked in, those who didn't believe at first, you can't just convincing them they just ready to go. All right. So make these decisions that make sense for you, because when somebody is uninformed, it's kind of hard for them to also know what to do when they're up. Now, they might be in here and they make more money than you sometimes. These guys also get lucky. They finally get in, and then after all these losses you took, and then they breezing by. So just do your own due diligence, but we got opportunity coming. All right. Moving on to indices. You just take a quick look at gold. It is now 8 p.m. Oh, wrong chart. Yeah. It's not looking too sexy right now, but I do see that there's more interest to go down than to just break out. And sometimes too, if the market is not doing, let's say, what you need it to do, just like Emmanuel just said, nowadays it's like gold gives you a Sunday, Monday setup. Wednesday be finicky, but them Thursdays also, just because we want to see them break off, just be mindful of what the previous day's highs. If it can't break it, please don't be holding your positions. Close them. Close those profits. Okay. Now, I did say we're going to talk about the indices. What happened with these indices last week? Shit. You tell me. I saw price finally making it to the 4-hour low. And I'm like, all right, we're going up. We wanted to see price pull back. It pulled back, but it pulled back in the worst way. And so some of us barely made it out alive. I remember one guy was like, hey, I'm in some buys with US 30. Like, what's up? I'm like, yeah, we should see price break up here, take out liquidity. Price said, oh, yeah, you know what I'm about to do next? All right, stay right here real quick. Dumped. Then we found out it was because of NVIDIA and the scheme that they're doing and this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right. But because there was so much selling volume here, Friday, the trade was simple. I know some of y'all caught it. I just didn't trade. It was because price on Friday was still respecting London, was still respecting the previous day's low. And so by 11, the volume kicked in, and it was at least enough to make a nice intraday catch of 500 points plus by 2 p.m. And then they lost volume again. So what can we expect from this week? Honestly, if price respects these lows, then sure, we could see some push to the upside, but I don't trust what price action is giving me right now. So for us to actually take good trades throughout the week, we just got to be mindful and remember the previous day's highs right now if they're just ranging. If price makes it to some previous day high, can't really break past it, we might find some counter trade sell opportunities. If price is respecting previous days low, we can probably catch some nice trades too. But just remember, it is a holiday week coming. You don't have to go so hard. I just remember that. Okay. It's a holiday week. We don't have to go too hard. In fact, after Thanksgiving in the evening is usually where you see like volume slowly kicking in. So I wouldn't push too hard this week. We have like what, just a few trading days left out of the month, and some of the fundamentals are missing, which really could have helped the market move better. So if we're getting, for example, unemployment numbers, unemployment claims, and it's bad, then we might see some volume by Wednesday. And then of course Thursday is a whole US bank holiday because of Thanksgiving. I'm not trading that day. In the evening, I might check in, see what's going on, but I know I'm gonna be in a whole different environment. Everybody out here gonna be eating turkeys. I highly doubt y'all gonna be sitting here trying to trade with all that tryptophan in your system, and you done ate mama's best cooking and all of that. So slow down this week for me, please, guys. I don't want to hear no accounts were blown. it's not worth it. Right? Do y'all agree with me? I would agree with me.
100.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving 2 years ago was my biggest loss. I'll never forget it. That's when I borrowed
Damn.
$2,000. I held a trade, kept saying it was going to turn, it's going to turn, it's going to turn, never did.
Damn.
It kept going down, down, down. And I went to the movies and forgot it. And when I came back, 2000.
Holy moly. Man.
Oh, yep.
Yikes. What trade was it?
Nas. Nas. That's why I hate Nas.
That's why you hate not.
Yep.
Wow.
I knew I shouldn't have traded. It was
Bef-
Thanksgiving, Thursday. I got in late. I mean, just everything was, but I didn't listen.
Wow. So what did you learn from that?
Don't trade on holidays. Don't trade after the market closes and get out. Don't hold my trade thinking it's going to turn because
Yeah.
it got low on the RSI. And then back then, 3 years ago, is when they were saying RSI, if it gets to the 30, it's going to turn.
Oh
I
yeah.
think it went all the way to 7.
Yes. I'm telling you, man, I don't trust no definitive anything when it comes to trading. Yeah, even me, like I love a previous day retest, but I'm going about it putting my stop loss under the previous day low. Cause the way folks be making content and telling you about their new strategy that on YouTube and such, until you realize everything is always probabilities. And one thing I hate about Nas is like you'll think price is gonna be pushing. All of a sudden, Nas gets shy and just respects the level and just dumps. So I'm definitely not the type to be swing trading Nas. I don't know how other traders like my boy Junior does it, bro. I can't. It's like, bro, I'd rather wait for Nas to just retest the zone and then I take it. But sometimes the zone, I wouldn't even see why price would just start selling off in the zone like this. So I definitely would caution anybody when they're trading Nas. Make sure you mark your levels, and if your gut tells you to exit, don't look back, exit. Nas is one of those. Yeah. All right. I think we've covered just about everything. I'm sure somebody gonna ask me, what do I feel about Nas? I feel like Nas is just going to try and retest highs, can't break them, and sell off. I'm very speculative this week just to see how they um recalibrate this market because it's been moving kind of funny. It's been moving kind of funny. They're not in a trend right now where prices making new highs. In fact, it looks like we're doing lower highs, heading back into lower lows, So yeah. But remember I was also telling you guys about areas where there's like multiple rejections you just don't want to stay in. That's another example of it. Let's say you want some sales right here. Market is doing good. Man, as soon as it starts to find these areas where the wicks are long, get out. Matter of fact, you might even want to consider taking a counter trade because they love to bounce back off these areas of rejection with the long wicks. All right. So just keep on the lookout for things like these. They will help, they will save a life. I'm sending out life saving parachutes over here. When you point out these areas, please know that they can make or break you, especially in choppy market conditions. Okay. But overall, that's it for me, guys. Think we've covered just about everything. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Hmm. All right. With that being said, you guys have a great night. Peace, love, and blessings. Talk to you soon.